Hey everyone, it's AYBL Main here. This is my series, AYBL Main's Top 5 series for albums, songs, movies, and the like. I'll be counting down those things, or at least ranking those things as I go along. Please take time to hit the red subscribe button down below. Please leave comments, maybe your top 5 in each particular category. That would be kind of cool. And whether you like or dislike the video. Other than that, guys, let's just sit back and enjoy and plug away at this series. I appreciate it. So hey everyone, this is AYBL Main, and I want to wrap up this top 5 albums for every year that I've been alive. So what I wanted to do was kind of recap a little bit. So what I did was I went from 1969 all the way to 2020, and I gave you 5 albums for every year. So basically what I gave you was 260 albums during that span of albums that you could possibly listen to if you wanted to or you were interested in at all. So what I'm going to do here for 2021 is give you the top 5 albums that I think are the best so far, because obviously we haven't gone through the whole year yet, and a lot of good material could have come out in the meantime. So these are just going to be the top 5 albums that I have so far this year. So what I have in my top 5, I've got Arlo Parks, Collapse into Sunbeams. Very good indie folk kind of vibe here. I really enjoyed this album a lot. It got 5 stars from a ton of magazines and online places and stuff. Check out the song Hurt. Black Dog, Eugene is probably my favorite track on here. It's just something very different, and it came out early in the year, which was refreshing considering that we just didn't have a whole lot to choose from in 2020 because of the COVID stuff. So kind of some spoken word stuff going on here with a little trip hoppy stuff as well. So you'll kind of like it. Also making my top 5 is going to be the latest album that was from London Grammar, California Soil. Still got that nice synth pop sound, a little bit of a poppy feel to it. Hannah Reid's voice is still incredible. She's gotten a little bit more aggressive lyrically. She went through some stuff on social media where there was some body shaming stuff going on, and she really took offense to that, and she really kind of lashed back at her critics and stuff, and good for her. Good for her. I kind of like that. Title track is really good. Lose Your Head, Baby It's You, all good material. If you really like the London Grammar, you should definitely check out this album. It's not as good as their first album, but it's definitely right in contention there. Making it also is going to be Bo Burnham's Inside, which is, if you haven't seen that on Netflix, it's a really great video as well. He's a musical comedian. What he did was he basically had a free-for-all. He was stuck in his apartment for the entire time of the pandemic, and he decided he was just going to put together this whole show. So it's got these interesting comedic songs slash commentary that kind of goes on. It's really interesting. Some of the stuff that's cool on here is like FaceTiming my mom, White Woman's Instagram's really good, sexting. There's a couple tracks that's going attacking Jeff Bezos because obviously the guy made a ton of money during the pandemic. It's the guy really towards the end there, you could see that this guy was really teetering on the edge of insanity a little bit. And but it was great. I thought the whole thing, it was an hour and a half long Netflix special. This is not quite as long because it's just the music from it. Really great stuff though. Check it out. Also in my top 5, not making my to the top spot, is going to be the Black Keys Delta Cream, which is entirely self-produced. It's a cover of all classic blues tunes for the most part. It's got some John Lee Hooker covers on here, R.L. Burnside, Junior Kimbrough. A lot of his materials on here. Probably more than half of the album is his material. So check out Poor Boy, A Long Way Home, Crawling King Snake. I like the shorter version more than the longer version. You should definitely check that out. It's just great to see that Dan and Patrick were back into the mix here. I mean, I kind of missed them after Let's Rock album came out, and it was good. Even if this is all blues covers, they're all excellent, so check it out. But number 1 for me so far this year, I gotta say, guys, and I just listened to it just a few weeks ago, it will be The Killer's Pressure Machine. It's kind of a heartland rock Americana, highly influenced from Bruce Springsteen. I know Brandon Flowers did an interview with him on a podcast recently, and you could tell Brandon just idolized the boss, and justifiably so. It's their 7th album. Songs that they're mostly about his hometown. Songs that came to mind about events that actually happened in his hometown. West Hills kind of talks about the heroin epidemic, not heroin, but oxy epidemic, opioids in general. Quiet Town's very excellent. Also, Runaway Horses, which features Phoebe Bridgers in there. The song Cody's excellent as well. It was great to hear from the Killers, and is it as good as Hot Fuss? Probably. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's probably their best album to date. So, but that's what I've got so far for 2021. Leave me your comments down below if you thought there was an album this year that probably would stick out a little bit more. I know Kanye's Donda came out, and I haven't a chance to run it through a couple more times before I would have made an opinion about it. But I liked it the first time through, but just not enough to make it into these top 5 so far. So that's going to wrap up my top 5 album series for years. So look for my other top 5 series as we go, and you guys take care.